what's called a ping to a site such as Pingo, which will actually go out there to about 20 or 30 other sites for you automatically and update them with the new listings, and it'll go out to blog search engines, maybe other search engines. It basically helps your content get indexed like nearly within minutes instead of having to wait days. And so it's very cool because, as you can see, WordPress, once it's set up correctly, can really generate some nice autopilot traffic and overall income for you. And that's why it's so popular for affiliate marketing, for list building, for building your business, building your brand, things like that. It's because of tools like a ping list. And we'll be in there showing you where that is and what it can do for you. Adding a new post is very simple. A lot of this is, if you can point and click your mouse, you can run a very high-powered, efficient website using WordPress. In fact, most marketers out there, they don't build anything that's not on WordPress just because it's got so much power behind it. And in fact, a lot of the major websites out there, the news websites, some that you might read, even some major ones. In fact, at one point, if I recall correctly, it was CNN.com that actually was powered by WordPress partially. Not all their site, but part of it wasn't. A lot of major websites are actually, powered by WordPress, and it's very powerful and it's free. So we'll also be talking about how to add a link to your post. That part is very simple, but also something that's extremely important, especially if you're doing any kind of affiliate marketing or any kind of list building with it. That can also definitely benefit you. You can add things like a subscriber box to your WordPress site, and again, I'll be showing you that step by step. You could also do things like, if you wanted to use a free tool where you could do like an exit pop-up within WordPress, and I'll just briefly touch on that and what it can do for you in that regards. And then we'll be showing you how to add pictures to your blog. Pictures you really do paint 1,000 words. They can really help you generate more excitement for your blogs. We'll be talking about that, and also how to add videos to your blog as well. So lots of good content to come. Videos are so important. They give you that personal interaction between a business and its audience. Videos, it's cost effective to produce. It really can have a viral effect, and it really is great for increase your brand's recognition, and it really can drive more traffic to your website overall. So video is going to be very beneficial for you. And then Google AdSense, many of you probably know what Google AdSense is. It's basically, little links and stuff that pertain to your niche market. So if your niche is on dog training, then for example, there might be little links that look like what you're seeing on the screen that have something to do with dog training. If somebody were to click on that, you might make 5 to 10 cents per click. And that's a great way to make money and to monetize a blog as well. Very, very powerful way to do that. So now that we've kind of given you an overview, kind of shown you some things to get your feet wet, I'm actually going to get started now creating your very first WordPress blog. So we're actually going to jump off the screen here and get started with creating our very first WordPress blog. Alright, so now what we're going to do is go over to our control panel area. So we need to go over to our cPanel. So in order to do that, we just need to come up here to our address bar. So you'll go to the address bar here, and what you're going to put in, especially if you're using HostGator, which is what we highly recommend, HostGator or Bluehost, you're going to somehow need to log into your cPanel. So for this example, we're going to log in here to our WordPress here. So we're just going to go to our cPanel. So it's just yourdomain.com/cPanel. So it's just yourdomain.com/cPanel, which is where you're going to go. Okay, so once you go to your cPanel, it's going to ask you to log in here. So you put in your username and password, which is actually provided by your hosting account. So I'm going to input that information here. and it's going to take me in to log into my control panel. And again, for this example here, we are using HostGator. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to log in here to HostGator. And again, if you're using Bluehost, you would just log in to your Bluehost control panel. And what you want to do here now is go right on down to where it says Fantastico, just like I showed you on the screen. So we're going to come right on in here to Fantastico. Once we click on Fantastico, it's going to say blogs, and we're going to choose WordPress. So again, you choose Fantastico, select WordPress, and this is literally a 30-second installation method. As you can see here, as long as your internet, computer stays strong, you'll have no problem going through these steps. Now, as I mentioned previously, when you want to install it on your main domain name, so that means yourdomain.com / whatever it is, so it's yourdomain.com, and you want that to be your main website, you're just going to keep it installed on domain. If for some reason you have let's say you have a squeeze page, a landing page, some other page that you want your home page to be, maybe it's got information about you and your company or anything like that, and you want to set up a blog separately, you could just do a / blog, for example, and just keep it like that. And you could actually, don't enter the /, just put in the name right here as they instruct you. So then that would come out as your course name / blog, for example. So we're just going to keep that because we want it on the main domain where it says administrator username. Let's go ahead and select admin. And that's going to be most of the time generic. For password, we'll just go with the generic password here. Admin nickname, I typically just go with admin. You could put your name if you want to, however you want to do that. For email, you can just put in your email here. I just have a generic email right now. And for site name, this is where you could put in your business name, or you could put in your keyword phrases here. So I'm going to put in my main keyword phrases for this example. And then I'm going to choose install WordPress. I'm just using dog training just as a rough example here, just so you can see how this would apply to any niche market. So we could call this dog training galore if we wanted to, for example. So we're just going to install WordPress, and then it's going to say, is it okay if it creates a database? And that's correct. So we're just going to choose finish installation. And literally in just a few seconds, it actually created a WordPress website for us. So if you want to, you can come on in here, and what it would do, if you put in your email here, it would actually email the installation details to you, which is kind of a cool feature. So you can put in your email, and then that way you have access to the link to log in along with your username and password that you set up, just in case you forget. So in most cases, your administration URL is going to be yourblog.com, so it's going to be yourdomain.com / wp-admin. If you decided to install it in the blog part, it's going to be yourdomain.com / blog / wp-admin. Okay, so I'm just going to copy that one, and we're going to come over here and open up a new tab and jump on over into WordPress now. So you can see here, if you were to go just to look at generic WordPress that was set up, you're going to have a very basic WordPress theme right here. So you can see that all set up here and working. It says hello world. That's just the first generic post that WordPress gives you. This is the new generic WordPress theme. So we're just going to come in here, put in wp-admin so we can log in here with our username and password that we set up. And what you just saw pop up there was something called RoboForm. That's just asking if we want to save the information. You don't have to get RoboForm, but it can speed up, remembering passwords and all that kind of stuff. But for now, we're just going to stick with, just logging in like usual. So we've gone through the 30-second WordPress install. You can see WordPress is now installed. The basic WordPress engine as itself is all set up, ready for you to start profiting and putting in your own details and information. So now we're going to go over all the plugins that you really need to make this work for you. So basically, as we talked about, there's several plugins, and that's one of the first things you want to set up after you get into WordPress. So what I recommend you do is come on over here to the left sidebar, and that's where you're going to do most of your work within WordPress anyway. So you're going to come in here on the left side, and you want to choose plugins. And what you're going to see is there's a couple plugins. One is called Akismet, one is called Hello Dolly. Both of these are plugins that are just generic, and Hello Dolly is just a basic one. And so these two are just always here. They're typically set as inactive for the moment. So we're going to just choose Search Installed Plugins. Now there's those 4 main plugins that we want to add in here. So we're going to choose, we want to go over here to where it says Add New Plugin. And where it says term, we're just going to put in the terms for the plugin we want to find. So I'm going to put in all-in-one SEO. And this will take just a moment. And you're going to come with, this is all within your search, your WordPress backend. It's going to say install now. So are you sure you want to install this plugin? Go ahead and click on OK. And then it's actually going to ask you, after it unpacks the plugin and installs the plugin for you, if you want to activate it, and you do. So all-in-one SEO is the first one. Now we'll worry about this in a moment. We're going to set that up in just a moment. Next thing we want to do is come back to where it says Add New at the top. So plugins, select Add New, and we'll type in another one that we want to go with, Sociable. Especially once you know what plugins you want, it makes it very simple for you just to go and find them. So you're just going to look for it. It'll ask you if you want to install it. Go ahead and click on OK. It's going to download it, unpack it, and install the plugin, and then just choose Activate Plugin. Next thing you want to do is go right back to where it says Add New again. So again, all from the left-hand side, plugins, and then click on Add New, type in your term, and this time we'll find the WooPro plugin, and we'll go here to where it says Search WooPro Analytics. That's the plugin we want, and we're going to go ahead and click on OK. Notice it also brings up some additional plugins, so if there's other plugins that you want to play around with, there's really tons of plugins out there. There's thousands of them to choose from, but these are the core really good plugins that you can go with. And we're going to add one more plugin here, so I'm going to type in here Google XML Sitemap, because that's what that is, Google XML Sitemap, and there it is. We're just going to choose Install Now, and we should be good to go. So it'll take just a moment again, and activate the plugin. So it was as simple as coming over here to the dashboard, your main administration section, left hand side choosing plugins, and if you want to manage your plugins, just select Manage. If you want to just manage the active ones, just choose Active. If for some reason you have an inactive one that you want to make active, you can just highlight it and choose Activate. But we're just going to manage these active ones that we created. And if for whatever reason you want to add a new one, you can either click on Add New on the left side or Add New up here and type in whatever you want to type. Like if you want to find a plugin that will help you with Twitter, just type in plugin, type in the name Twitter, and you'll find some different plugins related to Twitter along with their reviews. Very, very easy. I mean, you can see how simple setting this up really is for you. So we're going to go back to plugins, and the next thing we need to do is set up these plugins. So after we've gone through the process of installing these plugins, finding them and installing them, again, you did not even have to leave your backend. It was all point and click with the mouse. Very, very simple. Left hand side, pick plugins, and go from there. Very, very simple. We need to set these up. So we're going to first start with the all-in-one SEO plugin. So in order to work with the plugins, after they're installed, you're going to go to the left hand side and you'll click on Settings. And not all the plugins, but some of the plugins that you install will show up under Settings because there's further setup that you need to do to make them final. So what you're going to do here is come in here and you're going to choose Enable. For the all-in-one SEO, you need to choose Enabled. So you see here there's a little radio button. Make sure you choose Enabled, and then it's going to ask you for a home title. That is for search engine purposes. So it's going to ask you for a title tag, which, as you know, is extremely important for your overall rankings within the search engines. The title tag is basically the blue font that shows up when you do Google searches. It's that bold blue font that's clickable. And the title tag with your keywords in there can help your site rank in the search engines. So with all-in-one SEO, you need to put in your main keyword phrases for your blog, whether it's related to weight loss, fitness, those kinds of things. You'll want to do some keyword research to come up with the best title to use. Okay, so for this example, we're going over dog training, just for just as an example here. So let's just say dog training, and then you could do a comma, puppy training, and let's see, you could do dog training, puppy training, and pet training if you want to. And then for the home description, this is going to be a keyword-rich sentence, 1 or 2 sentences that would encourage people to want to visit your website. So you could put the #1 resource online for dog training, puppy training, and pet training. Your home description, it helps if you have your keyword in there. It helps you rank in the search engines. It also is extremely important because the search engines will actually use this home description right below the big bold blue listing, which is your title tag. They'll actually list that, and if that has your keywords in there, it can also help your relevancy, your overall rankings, and also encourage people to click on your site if you wrote something creative. Now I'm just showing these as examples here, but this is what basically you want to do with all-in-one SEO. Is you want to put in your title and your keyword, you want to put in your description, and this is technical related plus search engine related as well. SEO is very technical, so that's why we're covering it now, because it is so important and vital to your overall rankings. I'm going to put in my keywords now, so let's just type in, dog training, puppy training, and this just has to be your core keywords you're trying to go for, not all of them. And just keep these ones as is. If you have questions on them, you can click to help, but pretty much you're just going to want to keep all these things as they are. This one will basically, what it'll do is it'll take your post title whenever you do a new blog post, and it will automatically make your post title show up at the top. So it's actually going to automatically make sure that your post title for every single post that you do is keyword rich, related to the post that you just created. And another thing all-in-one SEO does is it will allow you to create your very own titles as well that are search engine friendly, so that you don't have to have very technical search engine friendly titles, as I'll show you in just a moment when we go to the title feature, or excuse me, when we go to the blogging part. You can choose to take off the blog title. Sometimes it's best just to keep your post title so it's just only solely focused on the keywords related to that post. You can choose to remove that one. Typically that's what I would do, is just remove the blog title from there and remove it